Thank you very much, Vladimir. Good afternoon, everybody. So I hope you did have a good lunch. So yeah, today we're gonna be talking about internet, no problem, offline AI pair coding with Ollama. So I have like a short introduction about myself. I'm Alberto. I'm a senior backend engineer from the code company and doing some custom migrations from like old CMS to WordPress. I'm also a WordPress community contributor from the Philippines. Since 2016, I've been like doing WordCamps, organizing WordCamps from the Philippines. So please apologize because it would be my first time outside Asia doing a talk. Apologize for that one. Fun fact about me, I proudly named my 4 kids after operating system. So that's Unix, Rocky, Kali, and Arch. And ironically, my wife's name is Mac. So and disclaimer, I'm not an AI expert. I'm just like sharing my experience on how I was able to explore local LLM or AI on my workflow doing WordPress development. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn on this social media platforms. So basically, the talk is how are you gonna use an offline AI and set it up on your Visual Studio Code. So I'm just exaggerate a bit on this one. So let's say, imagine this: you just finished a project. You're this junior dev. You celebrated. You have successfully deployed the project, and then took a vacation in China for a long holiday. Then suddenly, you get a lot of calls from your boss. Then, hey, there's something wrong with the deployment you did last Friday. And then nobody's in there since it's like a long holiday. You don't have like your senior manager helping you out on this one. You're the only one that could be reached by your boss. So you suddenly grab your laptop. When you're in China, everything's blocked. VPN is not working, so everything is You try to like open up ChatGPT, Copilot can't be accessed. So it would be nice if there's something like an alternative on some of the tools that you're gonna use. So like a local element local AI that is aware of the context of your project. So it would be nice if you have an alternative like that one. So the topic that we'll be discussing today is online and versus offline AI, their differences. Local AI or LLM runners out there, aside from Ollama. And we're gonna be doing some introduction about Ollama and how to install it in your system. AI models that you could choose from, and some comparisons of the responses that you can get from them. How to set up Ollama specifically in your Visual Studio Code setup, and some sample prompts that I've tested in here, and then what you could be able to do next once you have set it up on your system, and a summary, and hopefully we could have some Q&A afterward. So what would be? I have like a few questions like a few days ago. What's like the difference of online versus offline AI? So basically, if you don't, like most of the AI right now, like ChatGPT, Gemini, you're gonna need the constant internet access so you could be able to get a response from them, and as well as privacy. When you like send your code to Copilot or ChatGPT, we don't really know what happens on the other side. So sometimes your Copilot like skims on your whole code base, and sometimes we don't really know. Your keys might be sent to the server, so it might be a security risk. And if you're gonna be also like going with a specific vendor like ChatGPT or any other else, you're gonna be locked in their terms, and yeah, if the cost rises, there's a possibility that, yeah, since you're already locked in, committed to them, the only thing that you could do is like just comply with their terms. So why offline, or why have local AI? So it would give you more control and flexibility in on this one, because you could be able to like tweak it, you could configure it, you could choose your model, and it could also reduce costs most of the time, since you're gonna be running it on your local machine. Cost would be less compared to like paying a subscription, and there's the feedback would be faster, since there would be low latency. But it really depends, because it depends on your machine and the model that you're gonna be using. Because sometimes the local machine, or if your machine is like slow, the response will be also slow. But most of the time, if you could be able to choose the correct model for your machine, you could be able to get good responses, quick responses. So also, this would be great for client projects that has strict NDA. So everything is like contained in your machine. No data would be able to get out on your machine. So what are other offline AI or LLM model or runners out there? So there's LM Studio, GPT for all, text generation web UI, cobbled CPP, LM deploy, Ollama. So I think there's a lot more out there that you could choose from. But this top three got my attention. It's like Ollama, LM Studio, and GPT for all. They are all open source, and it's like choosing, like decade ago when I was choosing which CMS to explore, like Drupal, Joomla, or WordPress. It's like this tree that I'm choosing with. So I'm not sure why I chose Ollama. Maybe it's like the cute logo that they have that caught my attention. But that's the first one that I tried out. So Ollama. So what's Ollama? It's like an open source. It's free, and it runs on Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. Same as the other three that I tried. Haven't tried the other three before. Maybe later on I'll try to compare them. And short introduction on this: the founders of this one is Michael Chang and Jeffrey Morgan. They're from University of Waterloo. And if you could be able to, if you have used like Docker before, if you could observe, the GUI that they have, or the CLI that they have, is similar with the first, like the early iterations of Docker. Because the guys that made Ollama is from Kitematic. They have like the GUI manager for Docker containers, and their product was later acquired by Docker. So if you could see, like Ollama and Docker would have like some similar commands in there. It's like, yeah, they have somehow it's like containerized models. Why do we want Ollama? Because it's lightweight and easy to use, and there's a lot of the models that you could be able to download is easy, and there's a lot to choose from, like Llama by Meta, Gemma by Google, Qwen by Alibaba, DeepSeek from, I don't know, China, and there's a lot more. So it also has capability that you could train your model. And since it's open source, you have like the supported community. Like same with WordPress, they have a growing ecosystem that support each other, and has an API and a CLI, so you could be able to integrate it with your IDE. And for you to be able to install Ollama, at least you're gonna need to have like a 4-core CPU, 8 gigs of RAM, and it will give you this space, and optional GPU and SSD for faster performance responses. So if you're gonna be installing Ollama, you could go to ollama.com and download. There's links for Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. And once you have, I'm not braid like the other presenters that they do the live demo. I'm gonna make sure that everything is working, so I just like grab some screenshots on my end. So once you have Ollama installed, you could Ollama list, and then you could list out all the models that you have installed. So when you're gonna be starting, you won't have something like this one. So you're gonna need to choose the AI model that you're gonna be running. So the good thing about Ollama is it's model management. It's like downloading plugins from WordPress. It's easy, like just type in DeepSeek or Gemma. They have already a huge list of models that you could choose from. So let's say you're gonna be downloading the DeepSeek model, and you're gonna see that there's a column for the sizes. So the sizes is for depending on the machine that you're gonna be using the model from, and the responses vary. So for small models, the one or less than 3B works with lower hardware, but the responses are not desirable most of the time. You won't get good responses on this one. The medium models are around sometimes place around like 10 gig to 20 gig models. You're gonna need to have at least 16 gigabyte of memory, but on these models you're gonna get some decent answers. And large models, which requires huge RAM, 32 gig at least. But the thing is, it could be able to handle complex reasoning most. And so let's say you have chosen the model that you want to download. All you need to do is just like Ollama pull the name of the model and the size that you're gonna be pulling. And then once it's downloaded, it will be added on your list of models. Then what I did on this one is I tried what are the difference, or what kind of responses I'm gonna get on this different kind of model. So on my test machine, I have an M4 Pro. So 4 efficiency core, and then 8 performance core, 16 core GPU, and 24 gig of RAM. I tried the Qwen from Alibaba. The smallest model that they have is 522 MB. So I asked this model to create me a WordPress plugin that will handle a movie directory for custom post type, and then use taxonomy for the year and genre. So since this is like a thinking model, it gives you some, like, it organizes his thoughts first before throwing you out the result. And there you go. It will give you like the plugin file. But if you could observe on this model, this start on this one, it's not giving you the header tag on the plugin. So from this one, you're gonna see that this will fail, but it did give you some instruction, but it seems that it's incomplete. So when I tried to put it on my test site, it gave me this error. It didn't work. So, but the response is fast. It's less than a minute, but it failed. I tried the next one, the medium one, the 8B model, which is 5.2 gigabyte. Same prompt, and this time it gave me the plugin header, or the headers on the plugin. So it also gave you the instructions, on how to install the plugin, and the stuff that you're gonna need to do. When I put it on my site, it did work. So the response is 3 minutes on my local machine. And yeah, basically I got the movies, the year, and genre with just that simple prompt. So I tried to push this on the next level using the 30B model, even though that I have like a lower machine, just to check if it would work. So this model is like 19 gigs, so it's so slow to respond. It's like thinking a lot before throwing out the result. It took about like 15 minutes to process it, but it somehow did pass, but it gave some additional like activation code and then deactivation code. It's like it gave some. I didn't capture the whole response, but it gave some extra detail on the response. So if you're gonna be downloading your models or AI models, you're gonna observe that there are 4 major categories of models in there. There's embedding, vision, tools, and thinking model. So the embedding is somehow it's finding the things that means the same. It's doing the similarity. Let's say I have a blog about dogs. I have like an article for training my dog, and then somebody tried to search for taking care of my puppy. So it won't give you the exact word that you're gonna be looking for, but it will give you like relevant results for puppy, something like that. It will give you like the most relevant keyword for the puppy. So it would suggest similar terms, and it's grouping similar stuff together, and it stores meaning-based information. So the vision one is it can process or understand image. It's good for captioning. Let's say you feed it with a video. It gives you this picture has like trees on it, like 4 people on it. It understands what's in that image, and also good for optical character recognition. When you feed that to Ollama, you're gonna need to convert it to base64 first, so it would be able to understand the data. The tools category can interact with external tools or services, like searching the web, get your calendar data, or trigger code, anything that it could interact externally. And instead of just like talking, this AI can take action. And last one is thinking, or the one that you could be able to talk to. Like it could understand what you're typing in, and it's good for summarization. Let's say you feed it with a very long text or story. It would give you like, summarize me this story in like 10 sentences, something like that. And it could also generate content for you. So let's say you have like a small prompt, make me a story about that, and then it will create a content for you. Another bonus that they didn't put in there is fill in the middle models, which is very useful for programming, because the FIM model is trained to understand what you put in on the prefix, what comes before the missing part, and then what comes after. So you have your prompt for the prefix part, and then you have like the suffix, and then the AI will predict what's in the middle part. So it's basically good for auto-completion code. Let's say, yeah, you put your doc block on the top part, and then I want my input like this one, and then my output on this one, and then it will generate the code for you. So those specialized AI models are, some of the specialized coding models is StarCoder, CodeLlama, QuenCoder, DeepSeek Coder, GPT-4, Cloud 3. So those are the some of the models that could be able to do that. So yeah, what I mentioned, what I do on my end is like I create a doc block first to explain the function that I want, the input that I'll be expecting, and then the desired output. So like an example is like get the genre name, which I expect as like a post ID, and then it will create the code for you and then the output. So there's also this model that is thinking versus non-thinking models. So in Ollama, the thinking models, if you see, like when you type a prompt, it organizes its thoughts first before giving you the answer. So you're gonna see like it's trying to think first before throwing out the answers. Yeah, like describe to me your capabilities. It organizes everything first. The non-thinking model it's just like throws you the answer that it knows. It doesn't like organize its thought. So, but the response is faster. So that's I think the main difference is the thinking model is smarter because it organizes thoughts first, and the non-thinking model is like, yeah, here you go. And there's what they call in AI model censorship. If a model is trained to be censored, or unethical stuff, like how to hack a WordPress site, it will throw out that, I'm sorry, I can't assist you with that. It's trained to do some, it has ethics. It's trained to do that. So if the model is uncensored, anything that you tell them, like how do you cook meth, how do you hack a site, it will straight out give you the answer without hesitation. So Ollama. So let's go on how to set up Ollama in your VS Code, because like what I've shown you is like the prompt is generally on a terminal. So how do you set it up in your Visual Studio Code? So actually there's in Copilot that Ollama has an option to be integrated to Copilot, but when I had tested it, it still needs an internet connection. So it's not really fully offline. So what I did is I've used continue extension. And from continue, when you install it, it will ask you for the model that you're going to be used. Just choose Ollama. And then once you install it, I also showed you earlier on how to download the models. You should be able to have an option to choose the models that you have downloaded, chat and autocomplete. Earlier, I mentioned that there's some LLM or AI that is specialized on autocomplete, FIM models. So it's best if you could be able to find a good FIM model based on your programming language. So for me, what I have used is Qwen 2.5 Coder 3B. It's like around 5 gig, and it's lightweight and mostly understands how WordPress works. So on my case, that's the one that works best on my local development. So it really depends on you. You could be able to try it on your end. What's best that would work on your end. So once you have continue installed, on the right side, depending on your VS Code setup, if Copilot is in this part, there will be like a new tab in there, or like a new block there for continue, where you could be able to interact with your local AI, and you could chat with the AI from there. And So when you explore the settings of continue, there's also the rules that you could configure. So you could put in there like always use the PHP coding, WordPress PHP coding standards. Like, yeah, it's somehow different from the coding standard of PHP, something like that. And then use snake case, always use snake case for function name, or use API or any other rules that you want to put there by default. And there's also a docs setting where you could point your AI to always refer on this documentation. It enhances the AI's response by feeding it your README files, your documentation for your API or the project specs that you have, and internal dev guides that you have, or any link on your Confluence page. So another one is the prompts, like repetitive tasks that you want to AI do, like generating the doc block or generating UI or unit test. And lastly, if you're gonna be using continue, don't forget to disable Copilot so like they don't like overlap each other, like two AIs overlapping with each other. So just uncheck the code completion and code. This check boxes. Make sure they're unchecked. And now you're ready. If you're gonna be using it in your Visual Studio Code, you're gonna see that there's a new option there where you could select the files as context. And it will be added. You could add specific files that you want your AI to analyze. Like, let's say like a new controller or stuff like that. Or make me a WordPress plugin that will handle. Yeah, you could, like, instead of like doing that in your terminal, you could do it directly in your Visual Studio Code. So what I did for testing is a sample of prompt. I'm also curious in how AI could, like a small local AI could be able to handle multilingual interaction. So in English, same prompt that I demoed earlier. We have this Cebuano language in the Philippines. It's like one of the top 5 dialect, and I was surprised that the Quen model could be able to recognize it for that just a small language LLM model. So I did this prompt in Cebuano, and then unfortunately it did fail because maybe the terms that I used is it's like a localized term, so it failed. But when I tried again using more generic one, or like an English one, like the movies, custom post type, movie year and genre, I was surprised it was able to generate the plugin that I'm expecting to. So yeah, that's it. And I also want to share the cons of using Ollama locally. It's very high. It has like very high resource requirements. And there are times that the code that it provides is inaccurate. So make sure that you need to review your code first before pushing it to your production. It would really stress your machine. Because when I was using this one, that's the only time that I was hearing the fan on my machine. I rarely hear my Mac fan work. So the battery time is also shorter when Ollama is always on. If you test a lot of AI models, it would eat a lot of space eventually. And if you're gonna be sharing your model to your team, there's a lot of moves involved in it. And just to share, my machine, when like the spikes in there when I like type in the questions, I was monitoring like what happens on the back end. So it puts a lot of pressure on your machine. So yeah. And now we know the basics. So what's next? So I think the next thing that I'll be exploring would be making Copilot work with Ollama. So you won't need another extension. Hopefully, test Ollama alternatives like the LM Studio and others. If there is performance gain, if there is, or maybe we could stick on Ollama. Also, training models. I was wondering, I haven't seen any models really optimized for WordPress development. So it might be good if there's like an open source model that is specifically trained to do WordPress specific tasks and specialize on how the WordPress database is organized. And also like sharing the models to your team. So yeah, it's like a company model that you, like all of your standards is already in there and documentation. And yeah, no references with this. Thanks for Meta AI for the AI generated images. And summary. So we were able to tackle the advantages of offline AI and online AI and different AI runners out there that you could try out. We have introduced Ollama, local AI models and their parameters. So what do you need to know if you're going to be choosing your local models? How to set it up on your Visual Studio Code through Continue extension. Some sample prompts that I test out that I shared with you, and what you can do further in your local AI, and summary. And if there's questions, if we have time. I think I'm too fast.
Yeah. Have you ever used this in the real world for real projects, and what was the kind of reason behind it?
Your question is, I have tried it on my end, and what are the reasons? I did, because sometimes like I always on my kids' school. While waiting for my kids, I don't bring my mobile internet, or sometimes I forgot my mobile internet. So I do local development, and then yeah, I was wondering if I could be able to develop or use an AI without connecting to the internet. So yeah, surprisingly, it did work. It could be able to like answer the. It could not give you like the whole code that you're looking for. But function by function, you could build up something from your local AI.
Yes. Have you tried to do the opposite, like connect it to the internet so you can call it from external services?
Yeah, actually, there's you could be able to like set up your own server. There's like a feature in Continue extension that you could be able to set up your MCS server for that one, and then I haven't tried it yet, but I saw that it's a possibility that you could set up your model, put a server and then connect to it, and I think it's better if you have like a company. It's company setup, like all of your resources is already in there. I think, yeah, Tim, we're like, we have like, I think Tim has some plans on that one previously. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
There was one up.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same route I was going. I see the benefit of having your own LLM for your company, only company accessible, so that you can tick a whole bunch of privacy requirements. But having that power of an internal knowledge, your disease, etc., that is available to all of them. Because while this is great, you've got you're actually disconnecting yourself from the team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was
Thanks.
Have you tried to add any MC service? So, for example, like you said, splits up function, copy and paste. Have you tried adding an MCP for writing files and reading files locally so it can actually write them for you?
Actually, Continue extension has that capability that it could write the file, create a file, and then write the file that it suggested. So yeah, it has that capability. That Continue extension, similar to Copilot, right? Copilot has that capability. So very similar, Copilot and Continue, but Continue has the capability to interact fully offline. Because as far as I could be able to test Copilot, even though that you have your local LLM set up, it still requires internet connection.
I found that Gemini, for example, it's very brute force developer. So all the Gemini models are like it just loops through stuff, not very smart. Whereas if you go with ChatGPT models, it's much smarter. It analyzes the packages, but it just if it doesn't know the package, it just invents it. Just as use this package which never exists, stuff like that. So in between those of two, where is your experience using model locally against those kind of two different approaches to online models? Where do you think this one sits? Like, does it come up with like bullshit code, or is it more using brute force code?
Because it really, based on my experience, this local the local LMS setup that I have is not like, it really depends on the usage. Because let's say I'm writing a plugin or like migration script. If I give him like the full specification of the script that I want, like for ChatGPT, it gives me, comparing to the local AI, it gives me more detailed results compared to the local AI. But for local AI, it's good. It's giving me near or at par with GPT, but more prompts that is needed to get that. Yeah, more refined.
Any more questions?
Yeah. How easy or hard is to feed this model your own data?
Oh, good question. I actually haven't tried before like that. yeah, but I that's like the next step that I want to explore. Yeah, I haven't personally tried it before. Yeah, sorry. yeah, maybe on the next talk I'll share it.
Okay, we have time for a couple more questions if there are any. What's your preferred model to work with? Like, if you want to get high quality code, what would you choose?
Based from my testing, like what I tested is like Dolphin, DeepSeek, the small models that they have, the medium ones. Qwen from Alibaba has better results locally. So Qwen 2.5 and 2.3, they have like good responses.
Have you tried anything from Anthropic?
Not yet. Anthropic, what specific model?
Well, Claude.
Claude. No, I haven't. I haven't tried it.
But it's paid for, so there's no free version with Anthropic.
Claude, you could also get Claude in Copilot, right? It's like one of the default there. So I haven't tried with the local one, but if I'm using Copilot, it's better. It's better if I choose the Claude model. compared to like the local that I have.
It ranks high in the code generation.
I haven't tried it local. They have like models in the directory of Ollama, but I haven't tried it locally. I guess that's the large model that they have there. That's yeah.